entertainment.
Cole.
A clown. It's a clown. He's actually doing red flags.
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
To each their own.
Anybody can be friends with whoever they want. I just don't want to be around them.
Okay.
I feel some type of way about Alexa and Brennan. I always was indifferent to them. I just thought there were two people that were lucky enough to find what they were looking for in the experiment. I was happy that they were drama free and they were not toxic. But I think since the reunion, I've had a bad taste in my mouth for them, especially the way they treated Cole at the reunion. And it seems it hasn't got any better a year later. But anyway, hey there, it's Valerie. Welcome back. In this episode, I'll be reviewing Love is Blind After the Altar, Season 3, Episode 13. So the episode starts with Raven going to the airport to pick up SK. And if you've been through my channel, you know that Raven and SK were my favorite couple of the season, really. And I'm really sad that things eventually sort of went the way they did. But at the time of filming, they really seemed happy. They seemed in love, and I don't know what went wrong. But anyway, so next is Alexa and Brennan. Alexa and Brennan for me, because we really didn't get to see their time in the pods because they were the first couple to be shown to propose. I think because they were drama free, so there was nothing really for the producers to play on, and they seemed drama free. They seemed to be very connected and were working to create to increase their bond and whatever. So but I don't know. Since the reunion, they've sort of started to carry themselves in this way as I don't know how to I don't know how to say it. I don't know what word to use in the sense that they are, this perfect couple. They're in love. They are, very drama free. They come across as pompous, for lack of a better word. That's the only word I can think of. Anyway, they go to Alex's parents' house because they are celebrating a Jewish event. Brennan's family is supposed to come, and they're sort of talking about, Alexa is talking to her stepmom about pregnancy and having a child, and she's like, "Oh, I don't want a child to come from every day, and I just want a C-section." And it's like, people think a C-section is a walk in the park. It's surgery. That scar can take time to heal. There can be complications. Post section is not always a walk in the park. And so I don't know. I don't. I think at times people have unrealistic expectations of pregnancy, but anyway. So they have this conversation. I think Alexa at this point was already pregnant. I think she is pregnant, or she might be pregnant now. So Brennan's family come, they all sit down. Alexa, is asking her dad, "Do you want to repeat, your speech from the wedding?" And it's like, why? Why does he need to do that? If he's going to do that, then Brennan's dad also needs to do that. And there is this conversation about, did you all think we would last? What did you think? And Alexa's dad and Brennan appear to have a very good relationship. They seem very comfortable. Brennan said it can be a bit vulgar. So I don't know. His mom spoke about her anxiety and how worried she was about her baby boy getting married, after a very short period of time. They really seemed happy. Everybody seemed happy. So it was nice to see the families come together and sort of have that special occasion because I think Brennan's parents remarried, so there were sort of step parents there as well. Then we go to Colleen and Matt. Colleen and Matt, for me, there's something not right. I hope they're in counseling. They I feel worried watching them because I think they need to go to counseling. And I have this funny feeling that I wouldn't be surprised if they woke up tomorrow and said we're filing for a divorce because something doesn't seem right to them. Anyway, they say they have been married for a year. They're still living apart. Colin still feels very anxious when they're talking. I think I don't I know people try to make it out like, oh, he's very controlling and stuff. I don't think that's the reason for her anxiety. I think she's just someone who's always been very anxious, and then I think she worries about how she comes across on camera. I might be wrong. And I'm surprised that even though they don't live together, I think they live together. I wouldn't be surprised if they live together, because why did they need to meet at a dog park? That didn't make sense to me. Why did they need to meet at a dog park? Unless they live together and the producers didn't want the viewers to know that they live together, so they made it seem like They still live apart, and they only meet as and when. And they were talking about, Matt's dog, and Colin was saying, you need to get your dog neutered because, it's always humping everything. And it's like, "Mm, it's not that deep. It's not that deep. It's not like, there's a female dog in the house. If you impregnate somebody else's dog, hey, it is what it is. Then they can sort it out. They were saying they have improved on their communication and the fact that they are always, if they're struggling, they always go back to why did they say yes on decision day, and that's what they sort of focus on. But for me, I think there's still a lot there. I understand them not wanting to move in together because they were strangers. They got married in 4 weeks, and maybe they needed time to adjust. I what's happening with that group. And then we have Raven and SK. They're just talking about, the fact that they did take time out after, the wedding and sort of wanted to make sure that this is what they wanted. Then they agreed to sort of start dating. SK apparently has been flying from Texas to, to his university or wherever he's going to college. And he's got a full-time job and everything else that he's got his studies. And so they really seemed happy. And I'm a bit sad talking about SK and Raven because I thought they had a great connection. I thought they were really sort of making it work and they were building something. And they really looked comfortable at the time of filming. They were awkward with being recorded, but when they sort of forgot about the cameras, they seemed very happy. And I think this is the same problem that they had during filming as well, in the sense that when they filmed their season, they always seemed awkward. I think it was because they don't do well on camera and they were always conscious of the cameras recording them. So it was nice to see them and see how happy they were. I know things didn't turn out that way. And then we have Nancy and Batiste. I don't know why Nancy made with Batiste. He has nothing to, in my opinion, he has nothing to say to Nancy that she should even waste her time listening to because he treated her like crap, especially on her wedding day. The way he spoke to her family. If that was me and you spoke to my family like that, that would be the last time we spoke. That would be the last time we spoke. Otherwise, you'd have to catch these hands because I will not have anyone disrespect my family and then meet up with that person and want to communicate. Obviously, Nancy did ask Batiste, does your family know that I am meeting with you? And I think he said yes. But Nancy said no, her family doesn't know. And it's like, you're being recorded. They will know at some point that you are still seeing this man. And how do you think they'll feel when they find out that you're still seeing this man? I think Nancy and Baptiste were, on and off. I think they were still on and off. I think up until probably when you went to film his latest show, I think they were on and off because there's no reason why they should be meeting up. I don't know. I digress. Ladies then meet up for brunch and are having a conversation. So it's Nancy, uh, Alexa, Colleen, Raven, and Zay. And so everyone is happy. They're sort of just catching up on their life and sort of what's been happening. Nancy tells the ladies that she's still speaking to Batiste, and everybody's surprised. And she is asked, did you and Batiste become intimate after the wedding? And she said no. Alexa obviously is happy, tells the girls about marriage and how happy she is. And Colin mentions that, they don't live together, but they finally found a way to make things work. Raven lets the girls know that she is still dating SK, obviously. And then Zainab. I hate to say anything nasty about anyone, but Zainab struggles with self reflection and accountability because given what's happened in the last year and how she behaved at her wedding and how she behaved at the reunion, for her to sell, she said to the girls, I'm seeing a man and his name is Paul. And then it later turned out she's in therapy and she's saying, I needed a man to tell me whether it's me or not because of everything that's happened. And she had to bring up her parents' death. I know as someone who's lost parents, it is hard and difficult and you'll never get over it. But the fact that she used that as her reason for why she behaved the way she behaved. Oh, I wanted a man to tell me whether I'm the reason because I felt, I've never had a man tell me, help me address what's happened with since the loss of my parents. And it's like, I thought your stepmom remarried. You must have had some conversation with that man, with your stepdad or any other family member. Have you not spoken to anyone at all? I don't know. I didn't like that. And then I didn't like the fact that the girls were mocking Cole. I didn't like that because it's one thing to support your friend, but it's another thing whereby you have to be honest with your friend and tell them if they're wrong that they are definitely wrong. Alexa obviously told the girls that she's having this party, and she made it known that she invited Cole, and the girls were sort of he's the entertainment, he's going to be a clown with all the red flags, and it's like they say, don't throw rocks if you live in a glass house. No one can say anything bad about Cole because no one knows tomorrow. Because tomorrow you could be in the same shoes as Cole. I don't know unless there's anything else that we as viewers were not shown. I really don't think Cole deserves the backlash or the venom that these you know uh, participants are sort of throwing towards him. It's one thing for Sheikh. Sheikh was horrible. Sheikh was nasty. He said nasty things to his partner, and he went on to the reunion and said nasty things. Cole, I don't think deserved what they said or did to him. That's just my opinion. And then we meet Cole with his friends. Cole is a shadow of his former self. He looks as though a bit of weight has been removed from his shoulders, but his eyes still look very sad. I'm not someone to normally look at somebody's eyes and say, oh, they look happy or whatever. But something about him is not right, and he's still struggling to process what happened with Say, and he still can't believe I think he's still grieving the relationship that he had with Say, because he said they had agreed that even if they don't say yes on decision day, they would still keep dating, and she never told him that she was going to say no. So he didn't understand what happened and why Zainab went on to do the things that she did. You can still see, and I think he's very affected by the fact that Zainab tried to make it seem like, he was saying or doing things that nobody could see. And obviously, Love is Blind had to be shady, and they gave him some cuties just to show exactly what it is. She made mention of that he was trying to criticize her weight. From there, we have the guys meet. I don't understand how the guys met without Cole because you had SK, Matt, Brennon, and Baptiste meet up, and it's like, how can they accommodate Baptiste, but they can't accommodate Cole? What is it that's so bad that Cole did that makes him seem like the most evil person in the world? SK lets them know that he and Raven have moved in together. They've got an apartment, but he's still commuting. He's got one more year to go on his program before he finishes. Batiste says he's still in touch with Nancy, even though they're not dating. Matt lets it be known that him and Colin are still living apart, even though they're happily married. They are planning on moving in together, but they did not want to break their lease. And if he broke his lease, he would have had to pay $5,000. And then Brennan sort of mentions about the party, and he comes across as pompous. He comes across as very arrogant. I know they're trying to present this picture, him and Alexa, as this happily married couple who are better than, but I don't like the way they're behaving about Cole. I think whatever issues they have with Cole, they do not need to play out on camera. That's just my opinion. Because then he was asked, how do you feel about Cole coming to the event? And well, to each their own. But to me, I really don't want to be around that energy. And it's like, maybe that's the way Cole feels. Maybe he feels the same way. He doesn't want to be around your energy. And then obviously the episode ends with have Revan, SK, and SK's brother. They then go for lunch. And they all seem very comfortable and very happy. And it's nice to see them all together. And so, they sit down, their meal comes out, and SK is busy picking salad off Raven's plate. And the brother is like, you're eating a salad. And Raven is like, well, that's my influence. So, that's I'm doing God's work, and they were all laughing. And so when Raven excuses herself, SK lets his brother know that he's planning on proposing to Raven, and it's like, oh, I think SK loved Raven. I think he was a man who still had not sorted out his baggage that he came with. But I think if you were to ask, SK really loved Raven. And I think he always had the best of intentions, even though he had this baggage that he was trying to deal with and trying to sort of sort out. It's a pity that he was not able to sort of put a full stop on all his behaviors before he came to the Love is Blind birthday It is what it is. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Bye, everyone.